Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Make sure a potential spouse has the same money consciousness. And I mean the same money consciousness as yourself. I didn't want to make the title too long. But sir, hey, I'm going to tell you what. Usually when a couple breaks up, it's either sex or money. It's either sex or money. Those are strongest reasons. Of course, everybody, couple breaking up or marriages breaking up or even being annulled, they got several things happening. But these are the two biggest things. The sex thing, check out my men's channel and my women's channel. But the money thing, that's a big thing. Because if you have a person who has a wealth consciousness and a person who has a money consciousness, all you're going to get there is conflict. Because say you have a man, he gets married. Everything's good to go. He has a wealth consciousness, which means he doesn't spend his money on frivolous things. He puts his money into income-producing assets. He's thinking about investments. Every dime he spends, it's an investment. If he gets a nice car, he's not getting it just for show or anything. It's an investment. He might have an idea for a business, or he needs a good, reliable transportation to get to his job. That's an investment. When he buys clothes, it's not random. It's an investment, maybe for the job, maybe for their practicality, depending on what he's doing. When he's getting food, he's thinking about his health. So he doesn't spend his money willy-nilly. It's rare that even if his disposable income isn't spent on just random things. He could be like me. He could be a reader and likes important articles, so he'll spend it on books and magazines, stuff that can actually increase his consciousness about money. Even if he has a television, or got the smartphone, the increasingly ubiquitous smartphone. Believe it or not, there are some people who still don't have one. And, instead of looking at the entertainment and stuff, he's always looking at business stuff, news stuff. Stuff that can help him make money. That's a wealth consciousness. He's doing stuff to build up wealth. But say he's married to a woman who doesn't have a wealth consciousness. As soon as she get money, she spends it. And it could be on frivolous things. It could be on food that she really don't need to eat, extra food. It could be just to buy some shoes, some nice shoes that she might not hardly wear. It's not for a business event. It's just to look nice. Or just even to say just that she have it. Or different clothes. It doesn't really make sense. Or, she's spending a lot of money on some stuff, but she can't really say why. She ain't thinking in terms of an investment or income producing assets. Her money, or she could be that type who wants to spend money to keep up with the Joneses. So the neighbors, they just got their driveway paved. Now, your driveway is very good. She wants to spend money to get it paved. Your neighbor's got a boat. You don't really go out on a boat anyway, but she want to get a boat. Everything that, everybody else doing. See, that's a poverty consciousness. That is a poverty consciousness right there. When you just spend money, you don't save money. And that's a basic thing. You don't save money. You get money and it goes out. As soon as it comes in your pocket and you're under your control, you spend it again. That's a poverty consciousness. Because most people who are poor, if you really look at the poor, they actually get money. Not as much money, of course. They get the minimum, but if you pay attention to them, they spend it right away. You go in any poor neighborhood, there's a ton of stores. Any poor neighborhood, there's a ton of stores. And usually stores selling them bad products, overpriced products, being disrespectful to them. Go in any poor neighborhood in the world. Well, at least in this country. Well, in the world, probably. So obviously there's money there. But the thing is, people with a poverty mindset, they spend their money. And see, businesses want to be around people who want to spend their money. That's why you notice in some rich areas, you'd be hard pressed to find any stores. Like usually rich people, wealthy people, they got to drive out their way. There's very few stores actually in that area. Or if it is, it's usually like high-end stores, maybe a grocery store or something. And the reason, when, some high-end restaurants that even close to there, and the reason why, they know rich people are not going to spend their money casually like that. They're not going to spend it on just little things. They're not going to spend it at the liquor stores or buying cigarettes. That's a poverty consciousness. Now, if you're going to get married, you and that partner need to be on the same page. Now, let me use an extreme example. What if they both have a poverty consciousness? Believe it or not, that'll actually work out better than like somebody with a wealth consciousness and a poverty consciousness. Because if people have two different consciousnesses, they are going to have consistent conflict. It's not going to work out. But if two people have both a poverty consciousness, oh yeah, they living poor, yeah, they could do everything, but at least on that level, they're going to get along. Indeed, you got a lot of couples, as long as the sex is good and the personality is generally click, they're generally happy. Yeah, they could live a whole lot better, but the reason is they on the same consciousness. So when you getting married, you looking at a mate. It can't be just about how, honestly, yeah, sex is important, but it can't be just about that importance. It can't be just about that importance, you know? There's more to it than that. There is more to it than that. It can't just be about that. You know? You gotta be on the same conscience. You gotta be thinking the same. And I'm gonna tell you what, having a wealth conscience or poverty conscience even affects the personality. See, that's an automatic thing. You know, you trying to build up something and, you know, you had that personality to have the discipline to build up something and your mate doesn't. That's going to be a problem. And you have to look at it. I don't care how much you might say you love each other. Y'all need to be on that same level of consciousness. And this is especially important for my entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, you got to sacrifice a lot. You can't just go out and spend money. You got to, a little bit of money you make got to go back in your business. And being an entrepreneur is not an easy life. You need somebody on that same level of consciousness where they can live that type of life. You might have to sacrifice for a while. You know, you can't buy the latest shoes. You know, you can't go to that fancy restaurant, at least not right away. Now, it could happen down the road when you build up, but you got to have that consciousness that's willing to do the work to build up. So, you know, if you're talking about marriage and stuff, make sure y'all on the same page. I don't care how much y'all like each other. Y'all need to sit down and have that money conversation. Or if y'all don't want to have that conversation, at the very least, pay attention to how a potential mate spends their money. Pay close attention. It's very key. So, y'all know the deal. Because you know where Rom is at. Let's go make that money.